Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire Nashta Prayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Ruttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Mom Agnanathimirantasya Gnananjan Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Mena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 4 Chapter 21 Verse 26 Yuyam tad anumodadhvam Pitrudevarshayo malaha Kartush shastur anugnatus Tulyam yat pretya tatphalam. I request all the pure-hearted Amala, Amala, Deva, Rishi, Amalaha, pure-hearted demigods, forefathers, and saintly persons to support my proposal. For after death, the result of an action is equally shared by its doer, its director, and its supporter. Hmm. Result of an action is equally shared by doer, director, and supporter. Government of Prthu Maharaj was perfect because it was administered exactly according to the orders of Vedic instructions. Prthu Maharaj has already explained that the chief duty of the government is to see that everyone executes his respective duty and is elevated to the platform of Krishna consciousness. The government should be so conducted that automatically one is elevated to Krishna consciousness. King Pruthu therefore wanted his citizens to cooperate fully with him. For if they assented, they would enjoy the same profit as he after death. If Prthu Maharaj as a perfect king were elevated to the heavenly planets, the citizens who cooperated by approving of his methods would also be elevated with him. Since the Krishna consciousness movement going on at the present moment is genuine, perfect, and authorized, and is following in the footsteps of Prthu Maharaj, anyone who cooperates with this movement or accepts its principles will get the same result as the workers who are actively propagating Krishna consciousness. Of course, I mean the pace at which they will get, they will go, the kind of um, yeah, they might be able to get out of the material world, but um, I mean the devotees and people who are cooperating, they will not get the same result. But yeah, they will get, they will, the cooperators also will get spiritual result. That's the whole point. So that is why Krishna in Bhagavad Gita also says that those who cannot directly engage themselves in bhakti, engage them somehow indirectly. Mm. So that, you know, it's like cooperating with the movement. Maybe somebody gives some place for ISKCON, somebody gives some donation, somebody gives some, yeah, you know, like rice or whatever, right? And somehow they cooperate with the movement. Mm. And they will also eventually become a devotee, and hence they will get the same result. Um, so everybody has to be engaged in Krishna consciousness. And people want Krishna consciousness. We can see that time and again when we go out to preach, people want Krishna consciousness. But the important thing is Krishna consciousness has to be presented very nicely in such a way that actually people can understand, appreciate, and accept it. Uh, so um, preaching is an art. Preaching is a science, but it's also an art. Right? So we can't just assume that we can say whatever we want, and because it's like, you know, we have to understand that when somebody joins school, then there is KG1, there is first standard, then there is 10th standard, like that, and so on. So we have to give the knowledge also in terms of their understanding and acceptance. So we should not generally go and discuss things that they can't understand or they can't accept. And so step by step accepting the principles. Of course, we will never say lie, or we will not just yeah, either white lie or real lie. No, we might not present all the information at one shot, which is like you can't present whole of mathematics to a KG1 child, right? So you will obviously teach the child step by step. It's just like that. But at every step, they should be able to understand, appreciate, and accept the principles. If we give them more than what their adhikara is, what their ability to understand is, then they might not be able to mm, come along. So somebody can cooperate, somebody can accept some principles at some stage, and then slowly they have to be encouraged to move up. Mm. Not that they bring others also down. Somebody who's at just the initial stage and not following rules, it's not like others will also follow them and go down on their principles. No, slowly, steadily, step by step, we have to lift people. Initially, we ask people to just chant Hare Krishna, and we don't say anything else. If somebody says we are eating non-veg, we say it's okay. Somebody, yeah. So all that it's okay because Cheto Darpana Marjanam has to happen. So chanting will start, purification will happen, then they will be able to understand principles one by one. Mm. So, which is also art, and we have to make sure that we take everybody along and bring them to a good. Finally, eventually, they should all come to a good standard of devotion, which is pure devotion. Mm. It's not like we just do outreach, get a lot of people, don't pay attention to anybody, and everybody is doing whatever they want. That's not preaching. That's not preaching. Okay, so preaching has to happen. People have to cooperate, others have to accept principles. And then there are few who will actively propagate, actively participate. All the three categories of people are required. Sai Prabhupada is very nicely describing this. What is Krishna consciousness movement? First, there are devotees who are actively propagating. And we should have the enthusiasm. Yesterday, I was telling some devotees saying that if you are in a center or temple, that is a house of Krishna. Mm. And we are servants. So, whoever comes to the house are guests, and we need to take care of them nicely. And this has to be actively, proactively, not that somebody has to tell us, saying, do this, do that. You have to just simply think, general common sense. If somebody comes home to our houses, how do we take care of them? Just like that. Does somebody have to come and tell us, saying that, yeah, please talk to them, call them, give them a chair, ask them if they had food, if they had prasadam? We don't have to tell, right? It's a very simple, common sense. Um, so those who are actively involved, they should understand that, yes, this is my role here. I am the servant. Servant means I have to take care of everybody, including my other devotees who are serving along with me. To take care of, I should serve them also. Then only a preaching movement can actually can actually move forward. Otherwise, movement will only be backward. So for any preaching to succeed, there has to be few devotees who are servants actively propagating Krishna consciousness. They could be either preaching, they could be either taking care of the temple center, they could be doing other services, etc., etc. But yes, there has to be a team of very dedicated, happy devotees, because these people will actually set the trend for the rest of the next levels who come in, right? The new devotees who come in, who are going to come in, and why will they come? They will come only after looking at these workers, saying, "Oh, so nice, they're doing so nicely, and we feel really, wanted here." And they come, and then slowly they will accept the principles. Okay, somebody will ask, "Okay, what is this tilak you are wearing?" Yeah, okay, this is the okay. I can also wear. Yeah, you can wear. The first principle. Right, then slowly we'll tell them, yeah, apart from applying tilak to your, just forehead, you have to apply to all other parts of the body. This is the body is the, temple. Lord resides here. Okay, very nice. Then we tell them chanting one by one. So one by one we will teach devotees, the new people who come in. And then when all this is happening, we need a lot of people support to cooperate with the movement. We need Lakshmi to run, right? And we have to, if we are serving nicely, if everybody coming is feeling that, oh wow, this is so nice, they will automatically also contribute. They will serve. They will do their Lakshmi Seva. Automatic. We don't have to. And simply, if we at some point of time, if they are not able to understand, many people think that ISKCON is run by some central system, this, that, and all that. But as soon as they understand, saying that no, 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 this is all of us. We are only running, trying to run the show here. Then they're very happy. They'll be happy and they'll contribute. But these three elements are absolutely important. Otherwise, preaching movement will fail. First and most important thing is workers who are actively propagating. Second is newcomers who feel like very wanted and like the atmosphere and they're happy coming here, and then slowly step by step they accept principles. And then are others who might just cooperate with the movement without actually necessarily actively doing bhakti themselves. All three categories of people are required. So even in any action, there is a doer, director, and supporter. And of course, this also Prabhupada has not talked about this aspect in the purport, but we can understand. So, because of this, we have to be very careful about any action, right? Even if it is, be it material or spiritual. Even spiritual, if some wrong thing is being done and we are either the director or supporter, then we have to accept the result. And karma, to anyway, we have to accept. Mm. So you elect a person and that person is nonsense, then we share the result. Mm. So every action on the material platform has to be shared by doer, director, and supporter. So we have to be very careful about uh, what things we actually do or support or direct in material life. अस्ति यज्ञपतिर्नाम केषाञ्चिद् अर्हसत्तमाः इहामुत्रच्च लक्ष्यन्ते ज्योत्स्नावत्यः क्वचिद् भुवः. My dear respectable ladies and gentlemen, according to the authoritative statements of Shastra, there must be a supreme authority who is able to award the respective benefits of our present activities. Otherwise, why should there be persons who are unusually beautiful and powerful both in this life and in the life after death? So it's giving logic for why there is a supreme Lord. Prthu Maharaj's sole aim in ruling his kingdom was to raise the citizens to the standard of God consciousness. Do we see any leaders today talking? Yeah, of course, our Modi ji spoke when Ayodhya temple was, DT was, installed. So, yeah, you have to tell people saying that yes, there is a supreme Lord. Mm. People are ignorant. And kings, administrators' role is to raise the citizens to the standard of God consciousness. Standard of God consciousness, first of all, for them to accept that there is God. So that's what Prthu Maharaj is doing here, saying that there is a supreme authority. Accept him. Since there was a great assembly in the arena of sacrifice, there were different types of men present, but he was especially interested in speaking to those who are not atheists. Hmm. It has already been explained in the previous verses that Prthu Maharaj advised the citizens to become adokshaja dhiyaha, which means God conscious or Krishna conscious. Nice word, adokshaja dhiyaha. And in this verse, he specifically presents the authority of Shastra, even though his father was a number one atheist who did not abide by the injunctions mentioned in the Vedic Shastras. Prthu Maharaj's father, Vena, was the number one atheist, who practically stopped all sacrificial performances and who so disgusted the Brahmanas that they not only dethroned him but cursed and killed him. Atheistic men do not believe in the existence of God, and thus they understand everything which is happening in our daily affairs to be due to physical arrangement and chance. Atheists believe in the atheistic Sankhya of the combination of Prakriti and Purusha. Atheistic Sankhya is, mm, what is it called? Metaphysics, it's called. Scientists call it metaphysics, which is just combination of Prakriti. And they don't understand that there's a supreme. That's why it's called atheistic. They believe in only in matter and hold that matter under certain conditions of amalgamation gives rise to the living force, which then appears as Purusha, the enjoyer. Then by combination of matter and the living force, many varieties of material manifestation come into existence. Yeah, but the Purusha, the enjoyer, actually came from material conditions only, from Prakriti. This is what they believe. That is why it's called atheistic. Nor do the atheists believe in the injunctions of the Vedas. According to them, all the Vedic injunctions are simply theories. There are no practical application in life. Taking all this into consideration, Prthu Maharaj suggested that theistic men will solidly reject the views of the atheists on the grounds that there cannot be many varieties of existence without the plan of a superior intelligence. How can there be variety without intelligence? It is very vaguely explained that these varieties of existence occur simply by chance. The theists who believe in the injunction of the Vedas must reach all their conclusions under the direction of the Veda. Nityo Nityanam Chetanas Chetananam. So there is one Nitya who is maintaining everybody else. So he is the supreme authority. In the Vishnu Purana, it is said that the entire Varnashrama institution is meant to satisfy Supreme Personality of Godhead. The rules and regulations set up for execution of the duties of Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudras, or Brahmachari, Grasta, Vanaprastha, Sannyasis are all meant to satisfy the Supreme Lord. Haritoshanam, Samsiddhir Haritoshanam. At the present moment, all the so-called Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Shudras have lost their original culture. They claim to be Brahmanas, etc. by birthright. Yet they have rejected the proposition that such social and spiritual orders are especially meant for worship of Lord Vishnu. The dangerous Mayavada theory set forth by Shankaracharya that God is impersonal does not tally with the injunctions of the Vedas. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu therefore described the Mayavadi philosophers as Krishnera Aparadi, greatest offenders against the personality of God. According to the Vedic system, one who does not abide by the orders of the Vedas is called Pashandi or Nastika. When Lord Buddha preached his theory of non-violence, he was obliged to deny the authority of the Vedas, and for this reason he was considered by the followers of the Vedas to be a Nastika. But although Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu very clearly enunciated the followers of Lord Buddha's philosophy are Nastikas, enunciated that the followers of Lord Buddha's philosophy are Nastikas or atheists because of their denial of the authority of the Vedas, he considered the Shankarites who wanted to establish Vedic authority by trickery and who actually followed the Mayavada philosophy of Buddha's school to be more dangerous than Buddhists themselves. The Sankarite philosopher's theory that we have to imagine a shape of God is more dangerous than denial of the existence of God. Buddha just said there's no God. This is Gnostic. But Sankarites, they say they're Astics, but they are cheating. Because they're offending. They imagine a shape of God. Notwithstanding all the philosophical theorizing by atheists or Mayavadis, the followers of Krishna consciousness rigidly live according to the injunctions given in Bhagavad Gita, which is accepted as the essence of all Vedic scripture. Bhagavad Gita, it is said, Yata pravrittir bhutanam yena sarvam idam tatam swakarmanatam abhyarcha siddhim vindati manavaha. By worship of the Lord, who is the source of all beings and who is all pervading, man can, in the performance of his own duty, attain perfection. Swakarmana tam abhyarcha siddhim vindati. Yata pravrittir bhutanam yena sarvam idam tatam. Yena sarvam, by whom all of this pervades, or who pervades everything. It is all pervading. By worship of him, man in the performance of duty can attain perfection, which is Varnashrama. This indicates that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the original source of everything as described in the Vedanta Sutra, Janmadhyasya Yataha. Lord himself confirms in Bhagavad Gita, Ham Sarvasya Prabhava, and the origin of everything. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is the original source of all emanations, and at the same time, as Paramatma, he spread all over all existence. And the absolute truth is therefore the Supreme Person of Godhead, and every living being is meant to satisfy the Supreme Godhead by performing his respective duty. Swarkarmana tam abhyarcha. Maharaja Prthu wanted to introduce this formula among his citizens. The most important point in human civilization is that while one engages in different occupational duties, he must try to satisfy the Supreme Lord by execution of such duties. Bhagavatam says, Svanushitasya dharmasya samsiddher haritoshanam. Hmm. By discharging one's prescribed duty, one can become very successful in life if he simply satisfies the Supreme Lord. And how does the Supreme Lord get satisfied? When somebody simply follows the given prescribed duties. Just by following prescribed duties only, Lord is pleased. The vivid example is Arjuna. He was a Kshatriya. His duty was to fight, and by executing his prescribed duty, he satisfied the Supreme Lord and therefore became perfect. Everyone should follow this principle. See, because Varnashrama is very simple. Yeah, everybody has to do their duty, but the duty ends with Grihastha. Uh, and in the whole of Grihastha, they are not living for sense gratification. They are just living to follow authorities. And eventually, by the time they finish their Grihastha, they are purified. And then, because they are living as per their Varna, then, slowly they will come to Vishnu also. Because they'll understand all these rules are given by whom? By Vishnu. Finally, they'll come to worship Vishnu. The vivid example, he was a Kshatriya, his duty was to fight by executing the yeah. Everyone should follow this principle. The atheists who do not condemned in Bhagavad Gita uh, by the following statement: Tanham dvishata kruran samsareshu naradhaman. Mm. In this verse, it is clearly said that persons who are envious of the Supreme Lord are the lowest of mankind and are very mischievous. Under the regulative principles of the Supreme, such mischievous persons are thrown into the darkest region of material existence and are born as asuras or atheists. Birth after birth, such asuras go still further down, finally to animal forms, like those of tigers or similar ferocious beasts. Thus, for millions of years, they have to remain in darkness without knowledge of Krishna. The Supreme Person of Godhead is known as Purushottama, or the best of all living entities. He is a person like all other living entities, but he is the leader or the best of all living beings. That is stated in the Vedas. Nityo Nityanam Chetanas Chetananam. He is the chief of all the eternal, chief of all living entities. He is complete and full. Purnamidam Purnamada Purna Purnamudachate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. He has no need to derive benefit by interfering with the affairs of other living entities. But because he is the maintainer of all, he has the right to bring them to proper standard so that all living entities may become happy. And that is the reason he gave Bhagavad Gita. A father wants all of his children to become happy under his direction. Similarly, God or Krishna has the right to see that all living entities are happy. And we should understand that, and hence, because the Lord sees us as his children, he also feels unhappiness when we are suffering. He doesn't want to see us suffering. Similarly, God or Krishna has the right to see. There's no possibility of becoming happy within this material world. The father and sons are eternal, but if a living entity does not come to the platform of his eternal life of bliss and knowledge, there's no question of happiness. So we have to come to the spiritual platform. Otherwise, there's no question of happiness. We see so many devotees in touch with Krishna consciousness, but not still on the mundane platform, and they still experience miseries in life. Misery is simply mental concoction, right? Because we are Atma, we have nothing like misery. We are Sachidananda. So because we are thinking we are the body and we are taking things connected with the body too seriously, we are suffering. And I always give this example of vehicle and a driver or a owner. A owner has a vehicle got scratched or something happened, and then owner is like sitting with hand on his head and crying and cribbing. Oh, this happened like this. It's just a vehicle. Nothing happened to him. He should be happy. Mm. So it's like that. Till we think that we are the body, we will be on the material platform and we will never experience happiness. And that's the reason people have to do Shravanam. If devotees don't do Shravanam, then they will never understand that they should not remain on the material platform. They will not make progress. And then devotee's life also looks like life of karmi, of a normal person outside. And that's because they've not understood the philosophy at all. See, just by normally what devotees do, they don't want to hear regularly. They don't want to read. They will just take chanting bag and start chanting. But they don't even know that, of course, they would have heard that, okay, you are not body, you are Atma, but nothing beyond that. Day in and day out, every moment of their life, they are just living on the bodily platform. And then they're chanting also. But if you're living on the bodily platform, then then you're like, you know, putting ghee in fire in the morning and then pouring water on it throughout the day. So they end up not making much progress at all. And then they're bewildered. Then they ask, saying that, oh, I've been in bhakti, I've not made any progress, I'm still suffering this, that, and all that, because they've not understood at all Krishna consciousness. So we can only experience happiness if we come to the spiritual platform, not if we remain in the material platform. If we remain in the material platform, no question of happiness. Although Purushottama, the best of all living entities, has no benefit to derive from the common living entities, he does have the right to discriminate between their right and wrong ways. The right way is the path of activities meant to satisfy the Supreme Lord, as we already discussed. Anushtitasya dharmasya samsiddhir haritoshana. Every person has to do this, especially devotees. They're doing work which is karma, and in Kali Yuga mostly it will be Ugra karma, which is sinful, and we are expected not to commit sins after we get initiated at least. But unfortunately, we are not able to avoid it, and so we have to purify our earning by not being attached to it, giving it for Krishna's service. Otherwise, Hari will never be pleased. A living entity may engage in any occupational duty, but if he wants to have perfection in his duties, it's all about duties. He must satisfy the Supreme Lord. And as such, one who pleases him gets better facilities for living, but one who displeases him gets involved in undesirable situations. So Prabhupada is saying, to try to satisfy the Lord, anyway your life will be good only. Get better facilities for living. Actually, some devotees are very calculative about their earnings and savings and all that. Mm. Mm. Rupa Goswami set a different standard for us. So we should have this faith, saying that, if I'm satisfied the Supreme Lord will take care of stuff for me. Yogakshemam Vahamya. He will take care. Actually, today morning I was just thinking, yeah, if when you read Krishna book, uh, whenever there are any demons or some forest fire happened or something, what do the Vrajavasis do? What do they do?
They'll say Krishna Prabhu always.
Now, will they go try to figure out some solution, some do this, do that? No. Their level of surrender to Krishna is so high that they simply call out Krishna. This is their faith, dependence on Krishna. And we are thinking that, oh, I only have to do everything. I only have to earn. I only have to, protect my family later. It's such illusion we are in. And Krishna is saying, you just satisfy me, I will take care of things. Supreme Lord is satisfied by his pure devotees in Vrindavan and he takes care. What? Big forest fire, he just follows it. Big Kaliya, he just. So, you just have to have faith. Did the, of course, the Vrajavasis had so much love for Krishna, saying that they said, no, no, don't go. You don't go alone. That was their love. Hmm. But it was not that their love for Krishna is so much that even though, yeah, they know he's the only one who can help, right? But still, he says, you also don't go. It's okay. We'll suffer, but you should not. Nothing should happen to you. That is their love. Hmm. unimaginable. But yeah, generally they're just fully dependent on Krishna. They just simply call out for Krishna. A very, very high platform. But Krishna takes care. Krishna takes care. It is therefore concluded that there are two kinds of duties: mundane duty and duty performed for the sake of yagna or sacrifice. Yagna arthat karma. Any karma one performs which is not for the purpose of yagna is a cause of bondage. Yagna arthat karmanonyatra lokoyam karma bandhanaha. Work done as a sacrifice before Vishnu has to be performed, otherwise work binds one. Karma bandhanaha, bondage of karma, is administered under the regulations of stringent laws of material nature. Material existence is a struggle to conquer the impediments put forth by material nature. That's all. Struggle for existence. Why? There are going to be a lot of, it's like one hurdle, this hurdle race, running. So there are hurdles. You have to jump over the hurdles. Material life is just like that, just trying to jump over one hurdle after another. Why are these hurdles coming? We've created nonsense. We've done nonsense in our past life, so that results manifest as hurdles. The asuras are always fighting to overcome these impediments. Uh, so those who are always trying to fight to overcome the impediments are what? Asuras. And by the illusory power of material nature, the foolish living entities work very hard with this material world and take this to be happiness. One is fighting to overcome impediments. Second one is they work very hard and think that this is happiness. This is called Maya. In that hard struggle for existence, they deny the existence of the supreme authority, Purushottam. Because they think everything we are only doing. So much, I and me consciousness. I am the controller. I am the doer. Ahankara vimudatma kartaham iti manyate. Aham. I am the doer. Karta aham. In order to regulate the activities of the living entities, God has given us codes, just as king gives codes of law in a state. And whoever breaks the law is punished. Similarly, the Lord has given the infallible knowledge of the Vedas, which are not contaminated by the four defects of human life, namely tendency to commit mistakes, illusion, cheat, and have imperfect senses. If we do not take direction from Vedas but act whimsically according to our own choice, we are sure to be punished by the laws of the Lord, who offers different types of bodies in the 84 lakh species of forms. Material existence or sense gratification process. Material existence means sense gratification process. Is conducted according to the type of body we are given by Prakriti. As such, there must be divisions of pious and impious activities. Bhagavad Gita says, Yesham tvantagatam papam jananam punyakarmanam te dvandva moham nirmukta bhajante mam dridhaprataha. Yesham tva antagatam papam. One who is completely stopped. Papa. Meaning they are engaged in devotional service. They dvandva moha nirmukta. They are free from the illusion. Bhajante mam dridhaprataha. They will engage in my service with determination. Dridhaprataha. So they engage in Lord's transcendental loving service. This life of engaging always in the loving service of the Lord is called Adhokshaja Dhiyaha, or a life of Krishna consciousness, which King Prthu meant his citizens to follow. The different varieties of life and of material existence do not come out by chance and necessity. They are different arrangements made by the Supreme Lord in terms of pious and impious activities. By performing pious activities, we get Janma, Aishwarya, Sutta, Shri, good birth, beautiful body, richness, education. Therefore, we see that in different places and in different planets, there are different standards of life. Bodily features, educational statuses, all awarded by the Supreme Lord according to pious or impious activities. Varieties of life, therefore, develop not by chance, but by pre-arrangement. There is a plan which is already outlined in the Vedic knowledge. One has to take advantage of this knowledge and mold his life in such a way that at the end, especially in the human form of life, he may go back home, back to Godhead by practicing Krishna consciousness. The theory of chance can best be explained in Vedic literature by the words Agnata Sukruti, which refer to pious activities performed without the actor's knowledge. Sukruti is pious activity. Agnata, they don't know. But these are also planned. Krishna has planned this, but the jivas don't know. For example, Krishna comes like ordinary human being. He comes as a devotee like Lord Chaitanya, or sends his representative, the spiritual master or pure devotee. This is also the planned activity of the Supreme Lord. They come to canvas and educate. And thus a person in the illusory energy of the Supreme Lord gets a chance to mix with them, talk with them, take lessons from them, and somehow or other, if a conditioned soul surrenders to such personalities, and by intimate association with them, chances to become Krishna conscious, is saved from the material conditions of life. Very nice. See, somehow or other, if a conditioned soul surrenders to such personalities, and by intimate association with them, this is very, very important. See, the whole Krishna consciousness is about intimately associating with top class devotees. Intimate association, being attracted by them, wanting to be there with them, to serve them, accepting their instructions. Then one chances to become Krishna conscious. There's a chance that one becomes Krishna conscious. He's saved from the material conditions of life. Krishna therefore instructs Sarvadharman Parityaja Mamekam Sharanam Vraja. Abandon all varieties of religion, just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. Sarva papebhya means from all sinful reactions, activities. Person who surrenders unto him by utilizing the chance to associate with the pure devotee spiritual master or other authorized incarnations of Godhead like Prthu Maharaj is saved by Krishna. Then his life becomes successful. Long purport. Hmm? Basically, the idea is that we have to live a Krishna conscious life. That's the whole idea. And then we have to accept that first we have to accept that there is a supreme authority. We have to understand what his instructions are in the Shastra, not get distracted by atheists and Nirakaravadis, etc., etc. Samsiddhir Haritoshanam, whatever we do, we should do it for the pleasure of the Supreme Lord. He is the Purushottama. He is taking care of all of us. We should have faith in him. And we should always try to satisfy him. And then he will take care of our life. So all karma must be done only for his satisfaction. Otherwise, it results in bondage. The asuras are always fighting to overcome impediments. And they're working very hard and take this to be happiness. This is called Maya. And one whose life, one who has ended all impious activities, he can engage in transcendental loving service with determination. So we have to stop sinful life. Yeah. Okay. Anything? Any comments?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Bhajan.
Yes, sir.
प्रभु कुछ कुछ पॉइंट्स ऐसे हैं जो प्रैक्टिकली एक्सेप्ट नहीं हो पाते हैं. मतलब जितना भी हम सुनते हैं या पढ़ते हैं जो भी है. फॉर एग्जांपल दिस इज अ केस ऑफ बॉडी एंड सोल व्हेन इट इज कंपेयर टू एनी अदर ऑब्जेक्ट, लेट्स से फॉर व्हीकल, है ना. जो हम बोलते हैं कि एक्सीडेंट हुआ एंड वी गॉट scratch in car and we get upset. Definitely we get upset because the financial damage is involved in that. So how we will accept this case, this is only car and it got damaged, because ultimately for living the finance is required, and which is going to be hurt by this unnecessary incident. So how to accept that, sir? Prabhu, okay, one who have that much of amount, he can say कि चलो ठीक है कोई बात नहीं, but the person who can't do that, तो उसके लिए वो acceptance level कैसे ला सकता है वो?
Okay, anybody can answer? Anybody wants to try? Preaching question.
We have to think this is Krishna plan, maybe something happen.
Okay, Krishna plan maybe something. Okay. Okay.
Prabhu, it might, Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yeah.
It might not be about money, but it is about having belief in him. And Lakshmi required to do the task, however, Krishna will give.
Okay. Okay.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yeah.
Like, like whatever Prabhu asked, I also go with the same flow. But somebody hits your car or it damages it, how angry you get, or it's never like is there enough to get it repaired or not enough to get it repaired, but the first reaction is like that. You don't think, oh,
Okay.
chalo, acha, hum bach gaye. Because usually with so much of heavy traffic, somebody hits you from the back or somebody hits you from the side. And any tint also, any damage is a damage, and it's expensive nowadays. I mean,
Okay.
like, it's very difficult to say, okay, God's, you are
Okay.
saved.
Nahi, Prabhu, why I'm asking? Because
Uh,
my car got hit and I'm just taking car from warehouse. It is costing me 48,000 rupees. So I'm just thinking, yeah, isko kaise, how I can relate it. It is
Okay.
it is the plan and
Okay.
okay.
So, okay. So, yeah, good. Yeah, good. So life it teaches us, right? Yeah, Ashwini Mataji, you want to say
Hare
something?
Krishna Prabhu.
Yeah.
ನನ್ಗನ್ಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಲೈಕ್ ಅವ್ರ ಪ್ರೀವಿಯಸ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮೇ ಬಿ ಅವರು ಆತರ
Yeah.
ಯಾರಿಗಾದ್ರೂ ಏನಾದ್ರು
Yeah.
ಡ್ಯಾಮೇಜ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಆ ಕರ್ಮ ನನ್ಗೆ ಈ ತರ ಬಂದಿದೆ ಅಂತ
Yeah.
he has to accept.
Yeah. So Ashwini Mataji is making the point that I wanted to make. She's saying that that person has done something in the previous life and he's getting it back. Now, fine, okay. So there is a accident. Okay. Now, what can you do? What can you do? So yeah, you can, if somebody came and banged into you, yeah, see, it is Krishna's money. We are not saying that, we are just going to do charity, right? Okay, if somebody else's mistake, then we'll try. We can try saying that your mistake, please fund this, right? Abhi, but if that doesn't happen, and if for some reason you only have to bear the cost, then what will you do? By bothering, worrying, it's done. I mean, see, we have to understand one thing, right? This is where many of us actually are kind of confused. See, when there is a situation, we can try to do, because that is our level of faith in Krishna. We are not at Brajavasi stage, right? Where they don't really bother. They'll just call out for Krishna. They don't try themselves at all. But we are not at that stage. Okay, so we will try. So somebody banged into you, you can try saying that this is not correct. You did this. So please take care of getting the repair done. Right? Everybody will try, right? Of course, everybody has insurance, blah blah, right? But insurance, maybe some things get covered, don't get covered. But we will make that effort, right? So I'm not necessarily saying that we should not make the effort. But how much will you think about it? What is the solution? If by thinking about it, will it get solved? Will that 48,000 get undone? So there are other things also to understand, right? So even practically, there's nothing to be done, nothing that can be done. Second thing is, it is finally, after all your effort, if you had to end up paying 48,000 from your pocket, that means it is ordained. It had to happen. See, till we as devotees actually come to accept this, that there is destiny, there is fate. I am going through something just because it had to be that way. We are going to continuously keep fighting this material world. And whom are we fighting with? Fighting with Prakriti. Who is such a powerful agent. Just now Prabhupada said, stringent laws of nature, boss, like you cannot escape. You just cannot escape. Only time we can escape is when we do Sarva Dharman Parityaja and Krishna is saying Ananya Chintayanto Ma Yoga Kshemam Vahamyam. At that time, Krishna will take care at that time. Till then, we should not be in illusion. But at the same time, we should understand practically saying that, boss, this is my karma phala. What else can I do? I can jump up and down. I can increase my blood pressure. But will it change anything? And we will make the effort. I'm not saying that we are not make the effort, that we are, going to thank that other person saying that, oh, thank you so much. You hit so softly that only my vehicle has got damaged. Nothing happened to me. Please go. Thank you. I'll give you some prasadam also. No, you're not insane. But the point that point that I made, that vehicle point was very different. If suppose say there's a big accident, right? And then you will obviously be satisfied, no, saying that, thank God nothing happened to me. That's the whole idea, right? Something happens to the body, we are just like, we should not take it too seriously. But anyway, coming back to this practical question that you are, I think that there's practically nothing else that you can do. I can just keep thinking about it for one more week, right? Aaj aap leke aa gaye. Yeah, somebody who doesn't have money, unfortunate. That's his karma. And that's the reason people have to understand, saying that things are beyond my control. I have to take shelter of Krishna. People who don't have this sense, saying that, yeah, something, that is why Padam Puran says, Padam Padam Yat Vipadam. At every stage, some danger can come up. And the only resort for devotees is Krishna. Nothing else. Yeah, Samantara Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Prabhu, the point I'm trying to put across is the first reaction is, disgust and anger. Then we said, Acha hua, itne mein tal gaya. Or
Yeah.
like it's karma.
Yeah.
Or Krishna has been merciful. This
Correct.
comes, but this comes at a second, the
Which is
first
okay,
reaction.
which is okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the first reaction is of pain, disgust and anger. Why doesn't it in the first reaction come, nahi Krishna ki is mercy hai? Any damages, Prabhu, any profit, any losses, any pain,
Yeah.
it's why doesn't that
It'll
anger
come.
and why
It'll
doesn't
come.
that go?
No, it will go. It will go if we want it to go. See, this is a very simple thing, right? See, because we sincerely believe that it could have been avoided. We actually don't think that this had to happen. The first thing that comes into our mind is saying that he did this, right? He did this, but he was not independent in his doing. He did this because it had to happen to you. We don't understand this. We don't accept this at first shot. And it takes time. It takes time.
Like we are always trying to blame. The blaming
Yeah.
game go na, ultimately say, okay, leave it na, Bhagwan ne aise hi chaha tha. Like, and whether it is in business or whether it is anything, acha yahi karma tha. Like, okay,
when
like
we are
have to
not
get
able to
cheated.
get we are not able to get our way, then we will say, ye to aisa hi hona tha.
Till then we are identifying ourselves as the doer. When it's always the case, Prabhu. Like,
one of the things I totally agree with you. One of the things that I try, I'm just saying from my own practically what I do. Because I'm always in Vaishnava clothes, right? Wearing, and because now I have a shikha and all that. Now I keep thinking, saying that suppose say something like this happened. Suppose somebody looks at me and they say, you look like, some maybe ISKCON follower, but doesn't look like you are doing anything different from what I do. Right? And that would hurt me a lot, because that means Prabhupada's name is spoiled.
very true.
Right? So I keep some other things are in motivation for me to get out of this behavior, which is anyway not required, which is not correct. Anyway, eventually, when we come to the platform of full knowledge, we will understand, Are, ye to hona hi tha. It's Krishna's mercy, right? But till we come there, we have to have something else, pushing us to not behave in the natural, like, worldly way. Right? So I always think about it, and I tell devotees also, please, be in Vaishnava clothes. When whatever you are doing, please understand that you are carrying the responsibility of representing Srila Prabhupada. And maybe that might help us to curtail our whims or our natural ways. Right? Yeah, it's just a suggestion. But eventually we have to come to this stage. We have to understand, saying that it was just ordained. Why can't we just accept it?
Yes, Prabhu.
Right? And it takes time. It takes time. I'm absolutely in the same boat. I'm absolutely in the same boat. But what I tend to do is not forgive myself for doing things like that, right? As in, I keep repenting, I keep trying. That's the only thing I do. And different logic, different things Prabhupada has written comes back, and I just keep trying. That's all. But yes, same boat.
Hare Krishna,
Yeah,
Prabhu.
yeah.
So this is of being more kind to people and not accepting anything. So once they understand that this is happening, and people might take advantage of this situation and repeatedly.
Nobody can take advantage of us unless Krishna wants. Please understand. Again, I'm repeating the same thing. There is nothing in this material world which will happen. Tena vina trinamapi na chalati. Unless you have karma phala, nobody can touch your hair. Why don't we understand this simple truth? This is the simple truth of this world. Nobody can touch our hair. Please understand. Nobody can touch our hair, I'm saying. Forget about doing anything to us. Nobody can touch our hair if it is not ordained. Whether it is somebody came and did it once, somebody came and did it 100 times, the reason is the same. There is nothing like coincidence. There's nothing like chance. This is the basic reality of Bhagavad Gita. This is basic karma philosophy. We have to understand this. Till we understand this, we are always rebelling. We are always fighting. That is why Krishna says, Karmanyevadikaraste apa, do your duty, Baba. Ma phaleshu kadachana. You don't have right over the fruit. There are so many things controlling the fruit. Just do your duty. Something comes and falls on your head. Yes, okay. It had to fall. Oh, did a boulder fall on my head just like that? No, absolutely not. Did one small peanut fall on your head just by chance? No, absolutely not.
Prabhu, I totally agree with you, Prabhu. But in such cases, it is it is becoming very hard to live in this material world, Prabhu.
No, that is the reason we have to come to Krishna. If the material world was so nice, nobody would have come to Krishna. That's why Krishna is saying, boss, this is Dukkhalayam. You are so conditioned in your body that you think that, this is how you are. But please understand your Atma. There are karma phala. You've done nonsense in the past. You have to experience the results and you have to rectify yourself, correct yourself, and just accept, saying that, okay, this is what it is. This is the truth. This is happening to me. I have to accept. And what will we do if we don't accept? People who don't accept and keep rebelling, they'll end up eventually, going to asylum, doctor. What else will happen? Because we can't avoid it. We can't escape it. But we don't seem to be ready to accept it. What else will happen? We'll stress ourselves to such an extent, either we'll have high blood pressure or something else. But please understand the reality. The reality is that this is the truth. The truth is that it had to happen, and that is being done just because it is your karma phala. Especially, so I want to tell one thing, right? Please understand this. When things happen to us without us doing anything, it is absolutely karma phala. Again, I'm repeating this. When things happen in our life without us doing anything towards it, meaning we are not in any way reason or trigger or anything for this, suddenly something comes and falls on our head, please understand it is karma phala. Don't try to fight it. Just try to see if there is some way, some solution, if there is possibility. That also, I keep telling this golden rule, endeavor versus over endeavor. We are over endeavoring when we become problem conscious, meaning we are just all the time thinking about the problem. That means we are over endeavoring. There's no solution to that problem, but we are simply thinking and thinking and thinking and thinking. Yeah, Ruchira Mataji. Ruchira Mataji.
Yes,
Okay,
Prabhuji, sorry.
yeah.
Sorry. Okay, Prabhuji, like my realizations and my questions, like last year, my father's car got stolen. And I was like, कि वो tin का डब्बा ही तो था, चलो चला गया. Nobody's harmed. Because I heard in some lecture of Srila Prabhupada, he was remarking like that. And the thing is, Prabhuji, I feel when we advance in devotion, we see such things as very petty, like our property and things like that. We can relate that everything is given by Krishna, and if he wants to take it away, he can. And another thing is, Prabhuji, we have to tolerate, like one Mataji said, on the bodily level, like happiness and distress, then on the mental level, and then on the this thing egoistic level also. So I feel the tolerance comes with time, and we accept it as a part of our karma. And maybe Prabhuji, I had an accident, very severe accident last year. I was going for a devotional program, and as like my like husband is not so like willing, me and my son went, and I was driving, and we were going to reach near the place, and I cooked prashadam also, and my car was badly smashed, like very horrible accident we had. But my son was sitting on the front seat, and he was saved. Like the door got smashed, and आगे का सब काफी ज़्यादा damage हुआ, but we were saved, and the prashadam was spilled all over the car. And then I was thinking ki like, what is this? ये मेरे offenses हैं, or I just came for the program because my husband was not willing. I was
No,
really
nothing like
like,
that. It's just it had to happen. It happened. Krishna reduced it. That's all. You
yeah,
don't
it
have to
was
think too much.
Dharmapala.
Right? See, we should
Yeah.
understand saying that, yeah, of course, the first 2 points that you made, as we make progress, and we have to make progress. We have to make progress. And if we are sincere, Krishna will put us through these tests again and again, right? Till we actually come out with, pass out with flying colors. Because otherwise we are stuck in this material world, right? And Krishna will put small, big situations in front of us, to help us actually, pass the test, one more trial. I keep doing this with my situations with at home, etc. Every time I see, oh, failed. One more, I have my own mark card, and I say failed. Okay, failed. Okay, pass. 20% mark. Just pass 30%. So we have to keep evaluating ourselves, pushing ourselves, saying that no, this is not right. This is not right. This is how I should behave. This is how Krishna expects me to behave. Right? And we keep trying, and slowly we will advance. See, those whose life has been full of problems, for them it's very easy to make progress. It's very easy to make progress because there's no option at all. There's nowhere to go. Simply surrender, understand philosophy clearly, move on. Right? But for others who have fortunately good punya in previous life, good life, maybe tough for them, because these situations will have to happen one-off, and then we don't know how to deal with it because we've not dealt with those situations before. But anyway, yeah, tolerance, learning, and accepting this philosophy as we move on, right? And yeah, whatever happens, it's bound to be bound to happen. We should understand that. Yeah,
Prabhu, I
Shashank
want
Prabhu.
to.
Now, 1 second, Sunil Prabhu, I want to give
Yes,
chance.
sure.
One
Shashank
more thing,
Prabhu.
Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we are running out of
Yes,
time, so
Prabhuji,
I'll just let
problems
Shashank
give you
Prabhu.
all.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, please, we can. Shashank Prabhu, Rohini Mataji, because already we are at 9:20. Yeah.
Okay. Hare Krishna, Prabhu, Pranam, Prabhu.
No,
So, same Sumantra Mataji, what had she mentioned? Like, first feeling we'll go for anger or something like devastated, or we'll feel sad. Initially, before coming to Krishna consciousness, even I was also feeling the same feeling. Whatever happens, why it is only happening to me? I was in that state. But after hearing your class, Prabhu, like when I realized I'm not this. Yeah, I'm not this body and spirit soul. So first thing I just calculated, or I wanted to be, I made something like strategy. Whenever first thing I do is this mine, like first thing my car is this the thing which I got? No, it is not the thing which I bought. It is because of Krishna mercy I am enjoying this
Very
car.
nice. Very nice.
That
Actually, I want to tell one quality about Shashank Prabhu, which actually he's too early in Krishna consciousness compared to many of us, right? And he is very, both Prabhu and Mataji, Ashwini Mataji and Shashank Prabhu, very sincere souls. And every month he makes, significant, I'm saying significant Lakshmi contribution for, our preaching activities, etc. And every time I thank him, you know what his response is? Krishna mercy. Every time, and it's become second nature for him. I know just anything, any appreciation, words of appreciation that I make, he just simply says Krishna mercy. And please maintain that, Shashank Prabhu, because that is actually, I can see that that's actually helping you to actually realize, saying that no, it's not me. No, this money was not earned by me. This is just Krishna's mercy that he has given me this money and I'm using it in his service. So that consciousness, actually, Shashank Prabhu, in what? I mean, I've seen him now for what, 1 year, 1.5 years, Prabhu?
yeah,
One,
Prabhu,
one,
one
one
and a
and a
half
half
years.
years. I mean, amazing, few things that he's just stuck those things in his head, in their life, that both of them, they're actually very firmly fixed, actually, in Krishna consciousness. So that shows that, of course, they were devotees in their previous lives. But some of these practical, very practical, I make fun of him sometimes. just before him telling only, I'll say Krishna will, Krishna mercy, right? But it's not a joke at all. I mean, it's a very beautiful, platform on which they are living. So yeah, thank you so much, Prabhu. Yeah.
Thanks for
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Rohini Mataji, you wanted to say something?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Regarding karma, actually, like, if you take the example of this Prabhuji who got accident, so now we have to accept that it is his karma, past life, he did it to someone. So how about, like, past life, like that is a beginning, right? So beginning of the.
Yeah, but when you're a devotee,
How do we?
it's okay, right? I mean, you can understand. See, that's the point I'm making, right? See, if something comes and happens to us, right, mostly we can accept it as past karma. If we go and do something, we can think that it's a trigger. But of course, we can't make a differentiation. But we as devotees, we just think like that. Because, see, actually, devotees, karma niddhati kintu cha bhakti bhaja. Man, Brahma Samhita is saying karma phala all burns. Right? But still, Vaishnavas have taught us to be humble, to say that, no, I'm not a Vaishnava at all. I'm worthless. It's all my karma. But I'm taken shelter of Krishna. Krishna is very merciful Lord. He's a merciful master. So even though I had to suffer, he's just giving me little suffering. Right? And we should understand also, suffering is involved when there is karma phala. When there is karma, there might not be suffering. Actually, this is a good realization. Yeah. So when we do something, we don't feel bad about it. Then you can understand maybe we are creating new karma. Yeah, actually, that's a good way of understanding. Yeah.
Okay, please. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Hare Krishna. Okay. Thank you all. See, if karma phala, suffering comes, everybody's so excited. Otherwise, if you're talking about Krishna, God, love, and all that, it's okay. Boring stuff. Okay. Jai. Thank you so much. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyo cha. Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Antakoti Vaishnavebhyo ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Pranam.